kitchen here at Southern Dreams Homestead. I am Jessie, and today we are going to make some kosher-style pickles. I'm going to be using the recipe from the Ball Blue Book Guide for Preserving, and it's just the kosher-style pickle recipe. I will make a few changes to the recipe. For one thing, we've made this before, and we found that they were too salty, so we're actually going to cut back on the salt. If you didn't already know, haven't seen some of our videos, we did not do well in the cucumber growing this year in our garden. So I actually had someone give us some English style cucumbers before, and I was like, well, let me try making pickles with them, and I actually love it. So that's what we will be using today, is the English style cucumber. The recipe says it'll make about 3 quarts, and I have found that 5 English cucumbers are the right amount. Every now and then I'll have a little bit extra, and I'll just put those in a pint. So that's what we're doing today. So to start off, we are going to use the mandolin and cut these 1/4 inch thick. I have started over here on the side and got like 2 of them done so far. So you have slices about that thick. I am using a mandolin, and it does come with a hand guard. I do have more difficulty using this, so that's the reason why I don't, and I just am very careful when I am slicing my pickles. Alright, so now we have all of our cucumbers cut, and I'm going to go ahead and get the brine going, and then we'll start packing jars. I am going to make these spicy pickles. So I do have some red onion and some jalapenos already cut. All right, so we're going to use white vinegar, 5% acidity. We're going to do 1/4 of it.
Somebody's excited about the pickle smell, Jessie.
Oh, that's my pickle pal over there. She knows what's about to go down. And then you're going to do 1 quart of water. Then 3/4 cup of sugar. And when I first did this, I thought that they would be like sweet, but they're not sweet. So I'm completely comfortable putting the 3/4 cup of sugar in. And then the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of pickling salt, but as I said earlier, we found that to be too salty. So we're switching to 1/3 cup. And then lastly, to go with the brine, is pickling spice. I'm going to use my little tea diffuser. It's about 2 tablespoons. Let's drop that in, and we'll put this on the stove and bring this to a boil. Alright, so while our brine is heating up and melting the sugar and salt, we're going to go ahead and start packing our jars. First off, we're going to put all of our seasonings and stuff in, and we will be putting pickle crisp in. Pickle crisp will help the pickles from getting mushy. And so in 1 quart, you're going to put 1/4 teaspoon in each jar. We're also going to put a teaspoon of mustard seed, a few peppercorns, we don't have any fresh dill right now, so we're going to put some dill weed. and some dill seed in there also. A half a teaspoon of each of the dill weed and the dill seed. This is a half a teaspoon of dill seed. And then next we're going to put in some minced garlic. This is my favorite part, so we do put a good bit of this in here. A spoonful of each. All right, now we'll start layering in the cucumbers, the red onions, and the jalapenos. Now, in making these before, we like packed them super tight, and we're still going to pack them super tight, but we used a kraut pounder to really pack them in tight, and I found that it made the cucumbers on the top very mushy. So we're not going to do that this time, but we will still pack them tight. All right, so it looks like we're going to have enough of the cucumbers left to do a 4th quart jar. I'm just going to put the rest of these onions and jalapenos in these first 3. And you want to pack it in there tight, but because you need at least a 1/2 inch of head space in each jar. We're going to do this last one without the jalapenos, so it's a Maggie-friendly jar. And I've been requested to put whole garlic in here. Because honestly, we love pickled garlic.
Are you excited about pickles, Maggie? Oh yeah, you love pickles, don't you? Are you Mama Jessie's pickle pal? Oh, girl.
All right, so our brine is done. We ended up with 4 quarts. I'm going to start filling these. You're going to leave these with 1/2 inch of head space. All right, so we're going to burp these jars, and we may end up having to put more brine in there because we need it to be a 1/2 inch head space. All right, one of the most important things when canning is to make sure you clean your rims. That's to get anything sticky or any debris off, and also to check to make sure there's not any chips. So I just have a paper towel with some white vinegar on it. Our lids on and our rings. And then we'll be ready to go in the canner. Now we have our pressure canner out, but we are just going to water bath can in it today. These will need to process for 15 minutes. So the jars are in the pressure canner, but we're only water bath canning. It has to get back up to a boil, and then once it reaches a boil, we will process for 15 minutes.
A few moments later.
All right, our pickles are finally finished processing. We're going to let them sit out and cool, and they will start to seal. You'll hear little pops all over the house. But that's it. They're super easy to make. It was just a chance that we got to try the English cucumbers, and I actually really like them, almost to the point that we're going to grow English cucumbers next year for pickling. But they're delicious. They are absolutely delicious. But thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure to join us in the next video. Give us a follow on our social medias. It's SD Homestead on Twitter, Southern Dreams Homestead on Facebook and Instagram. And our website is southerndreamshomestead.com. See you next time.